Hello, and welcome to a presentation about your immune system and how you can support it naturally and how you can maintain your best health you possibly can. My name is Gail Pearson. I'm an anaesthetist or anesthesiologist from New Zealand, and I want to talk about, first of all, your immune system, what it is, what it's made up of, and how we can best support it naturally, including a product from LifeVantage called Daily Wellness. The immune system is basically our personal army. It's very complex and it consists of a whole series of coordinated cells, proteins, and chemical signals, which are designed to keep us as healthy as possible. So it is made up of a huge number of different facets, all joined together to keep our bodies healthy and well. But we've got other ways that we can keep our bodies healthy and well as well. And these are things like fresh air and sunshine. We all know when we go outside and take a couple of big deep breaths and feel the sun on our faces that it makes us feel good. And it actually has been shown that it actually supports our immune system. Exercise is also very good, especially when it comes to T cells. Moderate exercise is really good for our bodies. Having good restful sleep, good hydration, that means lots of water, not just coffee, water, and nutritious food full of vitamins and minerals. Not to have too much stress and reducing all of our unnatural things like lots of processed foods, sugar, reducing alcohol, and of course not smoking. But how else can we be proactive with our immune system? Well, let's first of all look at about what the immune system is. We have barrier immunity, innate immunity, and adaptive immunity. And I'm going to show you how, with targeted use of vitamins and minerals, we can actually support all of these three types of immunity. So to give us a balance of our immunity for best results, for the best possible way that we can have a healthy life. So let's be proactive, not reactive. So I mentioned the three lines of defense, and it's basically like a castle. So if we look at a castle, we have the castle walls, and that's the barriers of infection. Then we have the second line of defense, and they're probably the cannons or the big guns and things that they replace. And then we have the specific third line of defense, which is the ones like the gun snipers. So we have barrier, innate, is what we're born with, and adaptive, which is what our body responds to when they are faced with a new challenge or a new pathogen or a new invader, as it were. The first one I want to talk about is barrier immunity. And you might think, oh, barrier immunity, it's just your skin, but it's actually not. It involves lots of different parts of our bodies, including the eyes. The eyelashes keep out big dust particles, and the tears have lots of antibacterial agents in them, as does saliva. The gastric or the stomach and the intestine have lots of very powerful enzymes and have a very low pH, which means they're very acidic to kill a lot of bacteria even before they get to the bowel. We have lungs, which have tiny little hairs called cilia, which waft all of the little particles that we don't need in our lungs away, and we either cough them up or we breathe them out. And our nose as well, the nasal hairs are also a barrier. So we have lots of different ways of barrier immunity, and that's the first one I want to have a look at. Now, the second type of immunity is best represented by this little video clip, which shows the bacteria, which with a little arrow there with little black rod-like structures. Bacteria can be rods, or they can be circular, or they can be in little round, what they call cocci. And I want to show you what the macrophages, or the second line of defense, what are they capable of doing? So it's worthwhile just watching this as it goes with the bacterial invasion. So they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, and you can see what the abilities of those white blood cells or the macrophages can do when they are faced with a bacterial invasion. So they're the sort of the big guns, the ones that you're born with, the ones that increase in times of a bacterial invasion, and they're the ones that you'll get tested when you have an ordinary full blood count at your GPs or your practitioner. There's also the adaptive immunity, which is the circle on the right, and these are B and T cells. These are quite specific. So these are the snipers of the body. They only respond when they have specific pathogens that come in, and we call that the third line of defense. There's a little bit of overlap. You can see we've got T cells and natural killer T cells, which sound pretty awesome, actually, in terms of their abilities to get rid of pathogens and foreign objects. But all of them work together. They all come from a single cell called a stem cell, and that differentiates into different adaptive or innate immune cells. And depending on what the nutritional status of you is, depends on how much these cells will differentiate into all these different sorts. All of them have a function, and all of them have quite specific functions, and they respond to specific chemicals, protein signals. And so that's a very powerful way that our immune system, and as I said before, it's very complex, and it's not just one thing does it all, they're interactive. So let's see what a nutritional supplement can do to those immune cells and immune differentiation. Well, daily wellness is recommended. It actually supports our immune health, and it actually supports our overall immune wellness. It comes as a powder, and just take it as a daily drink. It's got 30 doses or 30 scoops within the little jar. It's gluten-free, and it's vegetarian, and it's very pleasant to take. What's it got in it? I call it 5 to Thrive because I feel that this is a proactive, not a reactive drink. So basically you're getting your immune system primed so that it doesn't have to go, oh, we need to do something. It's all there ready to go. So basically it's at action. It's at attention level, ready to counteract any threat that comes into the body. So let's see what it's got in it. It's got vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and fermented yeast extract. And I want to go through all of these individually just to show you what it's all about. Now, vitamin C, we've known for years and years and years, is great for immune health. It's great antioxidant. It helps heart health, skin and joint health, and it supports healthy aging. So no brainer. We know about vitamin C. We know it's great. So it's really good to have vitamin C in here. Vitamin D. Vitamin D is actually not a vitamin, it's actually a prohormone because it supports the uptake of other minerals such as phosphorus and calcium. And we know that if you don't have enough, you get quite bad deficiencies, especially in your bones, whether that be osteoporosis as an adult or rickets as a child. It regulates about 2,000 genes in its role as a prohormone. It also gives you lots of good mood. Going out in the sunshine increases your vitamin D levels, and we know that a lot of people are actually vitamin D deficient. So vitamin D is a very important part of this daily wellness drink. Elderberry. Well, that's been used for centuries in Asia. It's got a lot of antioxidant compounds within it, and it provides vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients. The big one is anthocyanins. And if you look up anthocyanins, you'll see how powerful those anthocyanins really are. The elderberry is a very good addition to this 5 to Thrive or daily wellness product. And then we've got zinc. Zinc sort of hasn't had a great lot of attention to it lately, but we know that a lot of people are zinc deficient, and you need a certain amount of zinc per day to be able to be a coenzyme or a cofactor to some very important enzymes. For example, superoxide dismutase, and that's an enzyme which you make your own antioxidants enzymes from that. So that's actually a very important enzyme to have fully functional. It also supports all of the immune, the innate, the adaptive, and barrier cells. In men, they need about 11 milligrams per day, and women about 8 milligrams per day. Too much zinc is not good because if you have too much, it impedes the uptake of copper. So this is at a level which is actually ideal for your zinc intake per day. And then we've got the pièce de résistance, as it were, the fermented yeast extract. I sort of call it kombucha on steroids, because what they've done is they have taken a whole stack of yeasts and put them in different conditions, some with oxygen, some without oxygen, with a nutrient medium with lots of nutrients. And then they've ground that up into a powder and added it in as the fermented yeast extract. It gives you incredible good gut bacteria, and we know that a lot of our immune system actually comes from the gut. So most of our immune cells are in the gut, so it is paramount that we have a good gut microbiome, being a good balance of the good bacteria in the gut. And fermented yeast extract will give you the support to be able to do that. And it's a unique product. It's the only product on the market with these 5 ingredients, and they all support a thriving immune system. So, as I said, supports immune response. It'll support the body's responses to stress, everyday health and well-being, respiratory and sinus health, and supports a balanced gut microbiome. And it comes singly, or it comes with a product called the Protandem NRF2 Synergizer. Now, you may not have heard about this product, but this was the signature product for LifeVantage, brought out in 2003, and has changed many people's lives. It is a way of nutrigenomics, which is a way of the future. And I want to talk about Protandem NRF2 for a little bit, because I have talked about nutriimmunology, the study of how nutrients affect our immune system, but nutrigenomics is a study how nutrients affect our genes. And LifeVantage is a pioneer in both, a pioneer in nutriimmunology and nutrigenomics. So there are 3 theories of aging. There's the oxidative stress theory, the mitochondrial theory, and the sirtuin theory. LifeVantage has products for all of these 3 theories. Most recent product was the NAD, which stimulates the sirtuin pathway, but I'm not going to be talking about that today. I'm just going to focus on the oxidative stress theory with the NRF2 product. And you might say, well, what's that oxidative stress? Basically, it's an imbalance of oxygen-free radicals or reactive oxygen species. Reactive oxygen species damage cells, and when you do not have the capability or the enzymes or the antioxidants to be able to counteract them, they will produce cell damage, and that cell damage is aging. And it happens from about the age of about 30 onwards. So your antioxidant enzymes decline, and your ability to counteract oxidative reactive species decreases. So along came Protandem NRF2, and look what it's made of. Natural turmeric, green tea, bacopa, milk thistle, and ashwagandha, put together in a specific combination to specifically stimulate a genetic pathway called the NRF2 pathway, and 18 times more effective than the individual agents alone. So it is powerful. And it's not just the individual ingredients, but it's the ingredients working together that stimulate this pathway. And for the science people, I will go on a little bit further and talk about the pathway and how it actually works. But first of all, let's see what Washington State University said. NRF2 is likely to be the most important health promoting approach in the foreseeable future. It may become the most extraordinary breakthrough in the history of health. Phenomenal. We are now healing our bodies from the inside out rather than outside in, and we've got the science to back it. This is incredible. And this is how it works. So remember I talked before about oxidative stress. Well, the orange ellipse is a cell. It's just a diagrammatic form of a cell. And the oxidative stress, the little lightning bolts. What happens is that when you stimulate NRF2, it's usually associated with a protein called the KEAP1 protein. So when you take Protandem NRF2, it dissociates from that protein, and by a series of complicated reactions, it goes into the blue ellipse as NRF2 and stimulates what we call an antioxidant response element, which is a genetic stimulant. And that in turn stimulates what they call it transcription, specific genes, and then those specific genes counteract the oxidative stress. Simple. Took them a long time to find this pathway, but once they did and they found something that would actually stimulate this pathway, the effects are absolutely phenomenal. And let's have a look at specific genes. So these are specific genes, the NQO1 gene and the HMOX1 gene. When you take protandim NRF2 synergizer, you can increase the genes by 40 or 50%. So these are inflammatory and antioxidant detoxification genes. So we have a really robust science behind this product. And as I said before, normally, if you look at the red line, what happens with your antioxidant production over time is it decreases. So by the time you're about 80, you have very little antioxidant enzyme production. But look at the blue line. If you take protandim NRF2 synergizer, doesn't matter what your age is, whether you're 80 or whether you're 30, you will still get the same amount of antioxidant enzyme production because you are stimulating a genetic pathway. You are waking up dormant genes that were already there to telling them to function again. So let's see how it compares. I talked about having a healthy diet, and it's great to have antioxidants, and food is really good for nutrition and antioxidants, but how does NRF2 compare with some of the known antioxidants? Well, to get the same effect as one NRF2 tablet, you'd have to take 5 kgs almost of blueberries, 87 glasses of wine, 357 oranges, or 120 vitamin C tablets, or one NRF2 tablet. So we have an input, milk thistle, great liver cleanser, bacopa and ashwagandha, great Ayurvedic herbs, which have been around for a long time, good for mental clarity, focus, calming of the mood, hormonal balance, green tea extract, antioxidant, turmeric, anti-inflammatory, working at the NRF2 pathway to detoxify the body, to decrease oxidative stress, to reduce cellular stress, to produce enzymes neutralizing free radicals, to help survival genes, and helps the body repair and rejuvenate its own cells. So how do they work together? Well, 1 + 1 = 3 because they are synergistic. So both of them help each other in helping the immune system to be ready and willing to counteract anything that comes into your body as a foreign entity. And if you have an immune system that is highly primed and your vitamins and minerals are at their best, you are much more resilient, you are much more robust, and you can stop cellular aging. This company has put out some more products as well, which all go via the NRF2 pathway. They all work on the principle of nutrigenomics, nutrition acting at the genetic level. They have hair care, they have skin care, they have a probio, which is out of this world in terms of its efficacy, and an omega, which is absolutely amazing. So there's a full range of how you can cellularly support your body, how you can prime your immune system, how you can keep your health and wellness at its best. And I think today is the day that you start. Thank you.